some days you're gonna win. I say some days you're gonna lose. I tell you, I got news for you. You're losing all the time, you never win. No. If you believe that's how it's gonna be, I better put you down. Your appetite up and come down on the ground. You gotta save me now. You better turn around. And I looked around. I was heading down. Oh, somebody throw me down the line.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. 901 Daily Show on this Friday the 13th. The only one for the year. And it falls in June. We got a nice show for all of you today. Going to be talking to Luke Roberts here in a couple of minutes. We're also going to be talking to Mark Bland, the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame enshrinement coming down the pipeline. We'll get all of the details on that. Then at 10:35, we're talking to our friends with the F1 Powerboat Races set to take center river, if you will, in Alton in a couple of weeks. Tim and Lyndsey will join us in the studio for all of the details on the upcoming action, what fans can expect, and how this major event is again making waves right here in the heart of the 618. At 9:02, we will take you to top of the hour news now. Here's what you need to know. Make sure you sign up for that daily email update where you can join myself and 70,000 people that are truly in the know each and every day of the work week and on Saturdays with Around the Riverbend. You can also download our RiverBender.com app today, and you'll never miss out with push notifications for weather alerts and everything else. We'll take you to Wood River first. Tremaine L. Brown, 30 years of age, of Wood River, has been charged with multiple felonies after allegedly fleeing police in a stolen Honda Santa Fe on June the 13th. Brown faces 1 count of unlawful possession of a stolen motor vehicle and 2 counts of aggravated fleeing or attempting to elude a peace officer. Authorities say Brown drove the vehicle taken without permission from an ex-partner at speeds exceeding 70 miles an hour in a 30-mile-an-hour zone and ignoring several traffic signals. A petition to deny his pretrial release was filed, but it was later denied. Brown granted pretrial release. He remains presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and we'll keep you updated if more details on that case do emerge. Officer Molly Munich of the Fairview Heights Police Department was released from a St. Louis area hospital on the 11th of June, and upon her return, she was warmly welcomed by residents and first responders at the department, highlighting strong community support and solidarity. The St. Clair County Sheriff's Department also acknowledged the occasion, offering prayers for the officer's continued strength and recovery. The homecoming, it served as a reminder of the community's appreciation for their local law enforcement. Glen Carbon trustees have unanimously approved the Meridian Grove subdivision, a new residential development featuring 17 single-family homes and 16 attached villas. Here's what we know on the project. The community, developed by Spencer Homes, is designed as a maintenance-free neighborhood with lawn care, snow removal, and landscaping managed by a homeowners association. Villas will start in the low 400s, while single-family homes will begin in the mid-$500,000 range. Meridian Grove is the 4th phase of the Meridian Plaza project located near Illinois 157 and Meridian Road, which has seen significant commercial growth. Final approval depends on securing an improvement guarantee bond to ensure project completion. Also in the news today, Mark Beatty, the athletic director of East Alton Wood River, has launched a summer basketball league designed to provide student athletes in the Riverbend area with convenient local opportunities to compete. Here's what we know. It's going to utilize the Wood River Rec Center adjacent to the school. The league will offer games close to home, making great use of the facility. The Summer League run alongside the current basketball season, transitioning to volleyball games on Monday nights in July after basketball concludes. Teams include several girls' squads such as Metro East Lutheran and Granite City, and the boys' teams from East Alton Wood River, Father McGivney Catholic, and others will be a part of this as well. Coming down the pipeline on Father's Day, Raging Rivers in Grafton is celebrating Father's Day on Sunday by offering free admissions to dads with the purchase of a kid's ticket for children's ages 3 and up, while kids under 2 enter for free. The park aims to create a memorable family experience, according to General Manager Jeremy Hayes. June features several special events. We talked about them on the show a couple of days ago, including Family Fun Night, which is tonight with late hours and reduced admission. Discounted Juneteenth passes from June 19th through the 22nd. The QEM Big Red Day on the 27th of June. This is cool, with first responder activities and even a fireworks show. Season pass holders enjoy early entry Wednesdays, and Sundays offer sensory-friendly hours. Visitors are encouraged to visit RagingRivers.com to find out more information. Finally, in the news today, the Mississippi River Festival is just 2 weeks away, set for June 27th and June 28th at the Alton Amphitheater. Organizers Nick Buffano and Zach Johnson are excited to expand the event to 2 days. Following a successful revival in 2024, the pair joined us on the show this week and promised a rich atmosphere celebrating music, art for the Alton community, with a lineup featuring headliners like Ben Rector and Blackberry Smoke. Alongside rising artists, local culture will be spotlighted throughout art installations and a new mural. And a vendor fair with indie businesses. VIP tickets for Saturday already sold out, but Friday night VIP for the 27th still available, and it reflects that strong regional support. Organizers are hoping to grow this festival sustainably, fostering live music and creating this for years to come. And that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend on this 13th day of June. Let's take a look at weather, shall we? Man, a little different out there. 71 degrees at 70, feels like 73. Humidity at 95%. Today, mostly cloudy and cooler, but humid with a couple of showers and a thunderstorm today. There could be ponding on streets and highways, so be careful. Coming down the pipeline tonight, a thunderstorm in spots this evening. Otherwise, it will be cloudy. It will be humid. There really isn't much to look at when it comes to the air quality index right now. Air quality is at 43, which is good. Grass levels are a little bit elevated. They're moderate today at 12. Mold's low, and ragweed and tree levels, they're moderate today too. Temperatures will only reach about 74 degrees today, with that rain in the area, dropping down to 67 overnight as we head into Saturday. Now, for the next 5 days to 7, it's going to be a little different out there. There are calling for chances of rain throughout the next couple of days, so be mindful of that if you're having any weekend plans. On Saturday, there could be some rain and storms, a high of 82, a low of 64 degrees, and on Sunday, Father's Day, a high of 85, a low of 67. There won't be rain on Father's Day. On Monday, we're getting some thunderstorms, a high of 90, a low of 70 degrees, with thunderstorms all throughout the morning and into Monday night. And on Tuesday, the 17th of June, a high of 88, a low of 71. That's a look at the next 5, and here's what's happening now. It's 9:09 in the heart of the 618, 72 degrees, and that's what's happening around the Riverbend. Hey, you can also stay informed with weather alerts by texting the capital letters RB to 618-202-4618. That's 618-202-4618, and we'll sign you up, or just download that RiverBender.com app today. Hey, while I have you, I was going to show you this to start the show, but I wanted to dive into news. This was a couple of days ago. I don't know if you guys saw this. I'm borrowing this from USA Today because they had a nice video of this, but this happened over here in Madison, just right down the road, with this Corvette doing a practice run. Let me fill you in on this. Let's take you there now and just show you a little bit of what happened. Look at that.
Oh my God.
So, as you can see, that was the sights and sounds of it in Madison. It turns out the driver walked away unscathed, just a few minor injuries. That happened a couple of days ago, but man, just saw that from a viral hog in USA Today, and just something I wanted to share with you. Glad the driver's okay, but definitely one of the videos around our region that's definitely went viral the last couple of days. Anyway, while I have you, you know, it's 9:09 and it is a rainy Friday, and you're going to go, CJ, what do you do on a rainy Friday? What do you advise me to do? Well, I'm never going to tell you what to do, but I can give you some good advice. You know, why would you go out today? Try to brave the rain if you want to go out and have a good Friday night, when you can just stop by a Village Dispensary and just have a good one in the comfort of your own home. I mean, it is Flower Friday. We're talking 30% off on some of the best bud in town and some of the best staff in town, too. They really are your best buds, if you know what I'm saying. You know, Village Dispensary has the inventory that makes Willie Nelson blush and Snoop Dogg jealous, and the fact that their staff is so knowledgeable, man, oh man, it makes it a fun experience. New to cannabis? Don't worry about it. I mean, listen, it's a new thing still for some people. They have an educational area inside Village Dispensary, so they'll set you down. They'll learn kind of what you're looking to get out of your cannabis experience, and they'll make sure it's the best path forward for you on that journey. You know, at Village Dispensary, every day is a special day. You can roll into the week Monday through Friday with some great daily deals, and you can stop in and find products for under $20. I mean, that's how great Village Dispensary is, plus all the community activities, the community events throughout throughout the year, the food drives. They're really trying to be a part of the community because at Village, they believe that it takes a village to be successful. Make sure you place your order today at villagedispo.com, and don't forget to tell them that you know who sent you over their way. All right, 9:12. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll chat for a little bit, and we'll have some more fun on this Friday morning. You stay there. I'll stay here on Roku TV and RiverBender.com.
Been lonely since you said goodbye. Wish I could say I miss you. Oh, but you know I never lie.
Village Dispensary has the best deals in Godfrey, Illinois, with specials 5 days a week. Mondays, roll in the week with 20 to 30% off select pre-rolls. Tasty Tuesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select edibles. Waxy Wednesdays, enjoy 20 to 30% off select concentrate and vape brands. Thirsty Thursdays, sip and save with 20 to 30% off all drinks. Flower Friday, grab like 3.5 gram flower deals starting at just $20. Village Dispensary, come meet your best buds.
When you need a project done right, on budget, and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible, covering auto, home, business, and life insurance. Our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
You won't find a better health club than Nautilus Fitness Center. More cardio, more free weights and equipment, more classes, a swimming pool, and more. If you're serious about your health and want to make a change, then stop thinking about it and visit Nautilus Fitness Center on Industrial Drive in Alton. Don't fall for the hype you get from the other health clubs. Nautilus is the Riverbend's premier health club. Has been for years and will be for years to come. Get to Nautilus Fitness Center and get started on a healthier new you.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Welcome back, 9:17, a little bit of change on this Friday morning. It is the 13th day of June. Nothing unlucky in here because, well, I guess Mark is in here. Mark Bland is in the studio. Luke Roberts, too. The St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. New inductees. This has got to feel awesome, and just a hell of a career both of you have had.
Well, yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you very much. Like I said, it's one of those I'm still trying to wrap my brain around. I know my compatriot here is the same way in the idea of where you hear the term Hall of Famer and you never think that's going to happen for you. You always go out there for the love of the professional wrestling industry, and to be a part of this class truly is
definitely wasn't for the money.
That is true.
Definitely
that
was not.
A lot of hot dogs.
A lot of hot dogs. A lot of hot dogs.
Well, and I think it's really cool though, Luke, because when I first was getting an interest in, I mean, you're really good about working with the younger guys, and Mark, you are too, of really trying to, shepherd and show them the right way, because you guys both know that there's so many wrong ways to go into the industry, and a lot of folks make make some bad decisions right off the bat. But I really like the mentorship that you guys really provide for so many people, and I think that plays a huge part in your enshrinement too. It's really developing the future.
Well, CJ, I'm going to tell you right now, when you get into professional wrestling, there are so many pitfalls in the world of professional wrestling. I mean, it's who you hear, who you know, who you talk to, and that's one of the things that really sets apart the Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame, as you said, is the idea of people who take the time and give people the guidance. And do we all make mistakes in life? Yeah, we do. But it's how we learn from them and how we adapt to them. I mean, Mark and I, we've been through a lot of different promotions in our time in professional wrestling, but when it comes down to it, you learn from it, you grow from it, and you move on.
Well, I got to ask you too, when you guys, how long ago, Mark, were you starting off in the business?
When I started, the first time I even talked to a promoter to even try to get into the business was like October of '97.
Really?
So yeah, we're talking '97. We're fresh into the Monday Night Wars, starting to become the thing that it would be from '97 to '99. That real ground pounding like fight one-on-one between WCW and WWE. So the characters were developing themselves, but the business was still a much different style.
Yeah. Well, and did you ever think that your ride would last as long as it did when you first started? Were you one of those people that said, let's see where it goes, let's see where the windshield takes us, or did you have a pretty good idea of what you wanted to do?
I was already working in television and radio before I got into professional wrestling, and so that was where that's where I am today. So I kind of knew that, and pro wrestling was an added benefit on top of that. It allowed me to go out there in front of the crowd to take the character and the person that I was, that need to like just put it out there.
Yeah.
And it gave me a place to do that in front of a live crowd that would give me a reaction back. So from that, I was like, oh, okay, well then this might be a world that I can like vibe in a little bit. And it did. Did I expect it to last as long as it did? In different ways, but I always kind of knew that I would eventually leave out of there and go back to radio, TV, and the things that I was doing.
Yeah, for
prior
sure.
To that,
Well, and Luke, let's dive right in, because I know a little bit about how you got started. You pretty much have done every role in the ring that you could possibly think of, and outside of it. Take me through what got you hot into pro wrestling.
Well, it's one of those where I growing up, that was a big thing for me. I remember being a little kid in Piedmont, Missouri, when I was 4 or 5 years old, and watching Georgia Championship Wrestling. And Mark knows those days far too well as well. But it was the idea of growing up. My brother was in the wrestling industry for several years before I actually got in. I remember being a 10-year-old kid. And
What's your brother's name?
He went by Billy Bob inside the ring.
Billy Bob.
Long time ago, yeah.
Big heavyset dude?
Yeah, before Country Joe Bob. Before
I was going to say Country Joe Bob before Country Joe Bob. Okay.
Yeah, Country
That's
Joe
awesome.
Bob right here on RiverBender.com. But when you sit there and look at it, I mean, again, it was most 10-year-olds are looking to get hot dogs and get popcorn and watch the wrestling. I was actually there behind Herb Simmons and another fellow inductee this year, Ed Smith, doing sound, writing programs, selling bumper stickers, you name it, doing all those kinds of things. And it kind of morphs. One of the things, and CJ, you and I have talked countless times, both on air and off air, is the idea of where you've always got to adapt. It's just like in any profession. And again, being able to adapt, I mean, it has been great. I mean, whether you talk about being a wrestler to a referee, Mark and I have some history both.
Sure.
Also, but the idea of being in charge of a company, being in charge of the creative aspects of things.
There's a lot that goes into the business of wrestling. And you know what? Promoters don't get enough credit.
Oh, God,
obviously,
no. Yeah.
because I mean, Luke's talking about the jobs you do around the business and how many there are that he's jumped into the shoes of. When you take that up a level to the promoter who now has to be over the top of all of that too.
So true.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's just a lot, especially a lot of it's independent.
Yeah.
Right now, like what we're talking about when it comes to local wrestling in each town across America, that's independent wrestling. A lot of these guys have jobs.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys have businesses that they handle Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. They have a lot of other things that are on their plate. It's Saturday and Sunday, and it's Friday night, but Friday through Saturday is when they get to try these things out in these pro wrestling organizations. So it's a very busy business to get into, and people don't realize how many tentacles that octopus really has.
You're 100% right. I mean, anyone that's set up any type of event knows that there's, all these ins and outs and all these spokes on the wheel. But when it comes to pro wrestling and you're setting up for events, I mean, it's a whole nother animal. And it's so amazing to me how important relationships are when it comes to professional wrestling. Because in other sports and things, if you can, in other event settings, you can get by for quite some time with doing things on your own for a little bit.
Of course.
But with pro wrestling, just from my experience, and I obviously didn't do it as long as you guys have, but
that's all right.
It's just, you can tell. You can't collaborate. You can't be successful without collaboration, or at least fostering community in what you're doing.
You have to foster community. That's a great way to put that. I think that's one of the best parts about independent professional wrestling. There is, whether you want to admit it or not, or like it or not, the way it stands, there is a community there. There is a group of individuals that do know each other and respect each other behind the scenes, willing to work together. And that's how something like the St. Louis Independent Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame comes together.
Yeah.
Groups of people behind the scenes that understand the business and everything that goes into it, getting together and going, all right, this is where we feel that the lay of the land is for who we are today in this business.
100%.
Yeah. And Mark, just to kind of piggyback on what's there, collaboration is extremely important. When you're in any profession, you want to get better. You want to consistently make sure that you're doing the best that you can in the roles that you have. I have a lot of friends outside this industry that are with different promotions. That's one of the things with St. Louis. St. Louis has been for decades, has been the hotbed or one of the hotbeds for professional wrestling. And again, when you look at promotions today, I know on a regular basis, I talk to the likes of the voice of SICW, Dr. Drew Abbenhouse. I talk to the voice of WLW, Ben Simon. I talk to the voice of PWE, Jeremy Karp. I talked with our broadcast colleague, the one Big Sexy Chris Rodell, down at Dynamo Pro. There's a lot of different
Shout out to Chris. What up, Chris?
He is the best, isn't he? I love Chris.
Yeah, and like I said, Chris has
He's
been...
a Blues fan, though, and I'm a Flyers fan.
Are you serious?
I was a Blues fan for 20 solid years till Mike Keenan piecemealed off Brett Hall and all of them. And then I was like, okay. And guess what? I was right for 20 more years.
That's true. Okay,
true.
I will give you that, Mark.
I won't even go that far, Mark, because for years I was an Avs fan.
Me.
But then again, same token too, I wasn't an Avs fan just when they moved to Colorado.
That Colorado team in like 03, 04, 05, whatever it was, with the beards and all that, dude, that was a tough ass team though.
Well, I look at it from the perspective though, I mean, again, was the idea of where I looked at it back in the days of the Nordiques.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, again, it was one of those, like I say with the Cubs, you follow them even through the bad years. And again, that's one of those when you look down to it, again.
He's going back to when we call it the Norris division.
That's true. That's true. But when it comes down to it, you look at professional wrestling, and again, it's just that collaboration. And again, right now, there are 12 different promotions in the St. Louis area.
That's wild to me.
And the idea of where everybody comes together and has the opportunity to make this industry better. It's one of those things, you always make things better than when you left them.
12 promotions, Luke, and I'm just trying to get one last match to bleed all over, We're going to get there. All right, back into
You want to bleed that bad?
Oh, God, yeah, come on. Okay, with that being said, I just, before we go back into pro wrestling, I was a Blues fan when So Taguchi was the only one at the Scott Trade Center watching the game. Do you remember that?
So Taguchi, wow.
Yeah. 06, he was out there, the only guy in the stands. It was him and Molina. That was it.
Wow.
I was that much of a fan. But, what I think's cool, too, is you have to be so good in really honing in the craft when it comes to working independent shows, in my opinion. Because you only, some shows, if it's just depending on the day of the week, and, you aren't going to maybe have the fullest crowd. So how can you connect with those couple of people right away?
This is a question that used to not be able to be answered in the business of professional wrestling.
Sir.
And now, because of the internet and the internet wrestling community, where we are now 25 years later, I use 2000 as a good break point to the before and the after, like the millennia, because we are from the 1900s.
That's true.
That is true. We're from the 1900s, bro. Like if people say, go back to your century, like that means something. Like that really means something. And it makes me feel old. But before, when kayfabe was the primary way that we handled the fraternity and the business behind the scenes, that was a discussion that was never had on radio or out live. And stuff.
Exactly.
Now that even Triple H and WWE are like, we're going to just open all the doors. We're going to do like whole documentaries, whole year-long like runs on MTV of just everything. We're going to let you know everything. And it's like, okay, well, I'll tell you how. You find a way to look yourself in the mirror and go out in front of the crowd and go, today, there's only 25 people out there that paid to get in here. And it's a small crowd. And we might get paid in hot dogs today.
Yeah,
that's true.
I want to become good at showcasing this character, this act to the people, and I will focus on that as my primary goal. That's where that drive comes from. Outside of that, you feed off of them when they are more and more and more there. But outside of that, it is you got to get up and go, I want to be out there. Half naked with baby oil on me, looking great, but I want to be out there and then get hit in the face with an elbow.
Mark,
you have to want that.
Yeah.
Well, one thing you look at too, Mark, is there have been so many wrestlers that we've had the opportunity over the course of our careers to see who have been in those 10, 20, 25, 30-seat KC halls, American Legion halls, VFW halls that have gone out there. And again, that's how you better yourself. You go out there and you do those things, and seeing people who have had the opportunity, the likes of a Dirty Jake Durden, guys like High Level Enterprise, guys like a Matt Seidel, like a Delirious, like a Mischief, like a Daisy Hayes. Another one here in the area was Akira Tozawa, which you can see every Monday night on Netflix.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, I mean, again, that's one of the things when you look at professional wrestling, it doesn't matter, as Mark said, whether it's 15 or 15,000, you've got to go out there, you got to be able to live the persona. And that's what those wrestlers do each and every night. They give you every ounce of energy they've got to make sure that from the second you walk in that building to the second you walk out, you are that person. That is who you are 24/7, and that's how you become a success in professional wrestling.
100%. Hey, before we take a break, I want to ask, what led up to this enshrinement? How does this process work, and really, how did you guys find out?
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, mine was very surprising. Many people know, as you say, you always evolve in professional wrestling. I got a couple different wrestling podcasts that I'm very actively a part of, and we were talking about, I can't remember what it was, because I'm usually a format guy. CJ, you've known me for years. I'm a format guy. If I go 13 words off the format, I lose myself.
He does.
But when it comes down to it, I mean, again, Jim Harris came on the screen and we were talking about wrestling. He talked about inducting me into the Hall of Fame. And I mean, when you sit there and look at it, you never think it's going to happen until somebody gives you the call. It's like when you talk about Cooperstown, you talk about Canton. And when that happened, I mean, it kind of turns into that next avenue. I mean, again, when you look at Mark and I, wrestlers, managers, presidents, director of authorities, general managers, you name it, it's one of those, to quote Ric Flair, for all we've done wrong, we must have done something right.
Yeah.
And don't forget, too, there's a lot of people on that list who've already been inducted and who will be in that room on Sunday, and a lot of people in the future that are going to be going into this Hall of Fame. You know, that they work hard, and they know that this business gives back, and they understand that this is why you do all the little things. Yeah. You asked about how I just found out I was called out of the complete blue. And I got a phone call. My wife handed it to me and said, "Hey, somebody wants to talk to you." And I broke down.
Yeah.
I broke down because it is big, and they're pro. But this is the other thing I want to say. Those people that are in that room, all those people, there's a lot of money that was made in that room.
Yeah.
From people like Mischief and myself and other people that have already been put into the Hall of Fame and people that are going to be put into the Hall of Fame. A lot of money in this business was made in that room.
100%.
And they understand how this business works from top to bottom. This really is a true professional Hall of Fame in sports. Like, this isn't just some thing on the side. Those people did go work out. They did put themselves through the grueling process of exercising to get to where they are and training for their trade that they wanted to be good at. And they were able to go out there and make good money on it, too.
Well, and too, I mean, if you look down the Rolodex of inductees, I mean, you guys are not only part of names that are known here in the region and locally, but also ones that made it and truly made it. And it's a hell of a list to be a part of.
Sure.
I mean, it really is.
Very true, very true.
Hey, it's 9:31. We'll take a quick break. Hey, while I have you, you know, those purple and yellow trash cans that you're seeing, they're mating like bunny rabbits and popping all across the 618. That's Denise Sparks' trash can. You know why that's happening?
No, I don't.
It's because she answers her phone.
Who's Denise Sparks?
She is the queen of junk and now the queen of trash. You know, 2 years ago, she said,
right.
CJ, I got to take on the big boy. They aren't picking up trash the right way. No one's taking care of us. You call, they give you a number, and they'll call you back in about 3 weeks, you know, and we can't have that happen.
Can't have that.
So for 30 years, she decided, you know, I'm going to use my junk experience and turn it into trash, and I'm telling you, she hasn't looked back. You can go to sparksjunkremoval.net and see the coverage area and see just how affordable it is. You know what's great? That old school way of business. When you call Denise and say, hey, got a little bit extra in my trash there. Hey, I have this extra item. Her and her team are there to take care of it. They're environmentally eco-friendly. I do get paid to talk, Mark, and they're here every step of the way. So go to sparksjunkremoval.net, reclaim your space today. Oh, and if you have that hot tub that's been broken down since the first George Bush was in office, or the Bowflex that all the clothes are on now because you tried it once at Christmas, it's gotta go! Sparksjunkremoval.net, reclaim your space with the queen of junk today.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Running down to the riptide, taken away to the dark side. I wanna be your left-hand man. I love you when you sing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Is this movie that
Welcome back. Mark, Luke are back in the studio. I'm here too, but I'm not the important one. We got some inductees.
What are you talking about? You are the important one. You are the star of RiverBender Radio.
He's
you
the
are
host.
the star and the host.
The show's
every
about
day
you.
of the week. What are you talking about? There's not even any other spotlights in the room. He's like, not important here.
You know something
Nobody
else
knows
too?
who I am.
Mark, you know something else too? I had to do commentary along with this man for a better part of a year and a half, and for him being so humble and being so honest-
Self-depreciating all time.
You know, completely different. But no, it's not a spotlight. These are Kmart lights I
They
have
are.
installed. They're going to turn blue here in a second.
It's $4.67. Trump's tariffs made it $5.67 for that new spotlight.
Oh man! Well, you know, Luke, we've had some fun doing commentary together, and it was really cool because when I went to Austin for Dustin School, you were one of the most supportive people there, and always have been, and it really just is cool to have you back in the studio. But we have some time. We got to hear some stories from the career here. What are some of the people you want to highlight, Mark? I'll ask you the same question. Some of the stories that our audience can hear. By the way, we're on internet. We don't have the FCC anymore. They can't control me. So,
Oh, they can't come after you like they did at the end of last year on me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, that's another episode there, right?
That's a completely different episode.
Mark will be
right
back
there
for the late night show.
You guys want to hear some of the FCC federal government coming after people stories? I got them for you. I've got all kinds of cool stories on that.
That's for sure.
Yeah, well, as we go about this right now, I mean, again, there's a lot of good stories I've had over the course of the career. One of them I know full well was, and I'm going to go ahead and throw the first one out here because you're here, and we're going to talk about it. Was the idea, as you know, CJ Macello, well known all across the bi-state area, and had an opportunity. We had to go to an event in Kansas City.
Yep.
And we're done. He did a great job as he always does. Like I said, just like he does here on RiverBender.com and on our daily show. And all I know is we were sitting there, we were driving back home, and myself and the other gentleman who was in the car, and just for the record, get well soon, Ace. I know he had shoulder surgery to do a lot of replacement and a lot of, I think he had to have like pins and plates and all sorts of stuff just to keep it in socket. So get well soon, Ace. What was the idea? We were driving, and all of a sudden, CJ's wondering, what in the world is hissing in the front of the car? And I'm thinking, okay, maybe I popped a tire, maybe something like that. No, somebody had a can of hairspray in their bag, and they had broken the nozzle off, and it's just spreading all over in the car, the bag, and the whole nine. And I'm like, are we going to?
Awesome.
Yeah, but no, that wasn't the best part. The best part was when we went and all I remember was we were trying to eat our food, and we're like, where did CJ go? And CJ was trying, since our waitress wouldn't take care of the ceiling fan. CJ made it a point. He had tried to figure out a way possible to climb up and turn on the fan himself. And like I said, trying to catch him so he didn't fall into the cooking area was not a good thing.
And in my ring jacket still.
That is
Fair
true.
enough.
That is true.
So you were even geared up for this. Yeah.
Exactly. But no, that one was there. Another one, I don't think I've ever told Mark this one, was many years ago, my broadcast colleague Chris Rodell and a friend of the show, Justin Waits, went to an event in Waynesville, Illinois. Okay. And we went to Waynesville. We were told whenever you see the silo, you make a right. Now, you're in the middle of central Illinois nowhere when you're told using silos
as
landmarks.
As landmarks. And the last thing we're told before we lose cell signal is whatever you do, be prepared. There's a parade going on. Okay, that's not a problem. We turn, and no sooner had we turned, Chris Rodell yells out, "Stop," and tries to move my foot to where I can stomp on the brake. We almost ran into the back of a horse. It was in the parade. And needless to say,
oh goodness.
Needless to say, that was probably one of the most memorable. I do have one more. I got to share a Mark Bland story. Mark and I were a part of Dynamo Pro Wrestling for a number of years, and there was a matchup that he had signed between the King of Chaos, Ricky Cruz, and Dirty Jake Durden. And I remember the two of them going through the wall. I mean, physically, they went through the side of the wall at a place that's no longer in business called the Stratford Bar and Grill.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they went through a wall.
Yeah, they went through a wall. Yeah.
And I've never seen anybody have a complete look. Mark is one of those guys. He can adapt. He can kind of tap dance like nobody's business when it comes to things. He can move on his feet. And I've never seen him panic like I did that day because he's like, how are we going to pay for that?
Yeah, because you got to remember, I'm the executive director, and so I'm working with the higher ups like Jim and Crystal and everybody on the behind the scenes to like put the company together and make things go. I also have a character within the organization, so like I'm watching this go down, and I'm part of the story. And then all of a sudden, the story becomes reality, and like it's going past wrestling to where we. Guys, I've tried to explain this a million times. The beauty of a Vince McMahon and the beauty of professional wrestling is I can create the world all in one building. The gods, the devils, all of it, right? I can get you cheering for them, against them. I can start the story, I can end the story, and I can do it all in one building under my own control, right?
True.
I can even bring this down and bring this guy up so that we can even switch to the next story. Can't do that in real life. See, that's the problem. Once you get outside of the business of wrestling, real life happens. Right. Now it's, you guys going to pay for that wall? Because we want to know if you guys are going to pay for that wall, because we can't have you wrestling here if you're just busting our walls. Like, that's where the game becomes, hey, I don't care about your stories.
Yeah.
Fix my wall. I've got a business to run here. I've got to sell another margarita to a 21-year-old girl from Festus, okay? Like, I have to do it. Like, I have no choice. So, like, that's the reality that sometimes sinks in.
What was Ricky's response?
Ricky's response? Those guys were just finishing off their match and just, like, trying to get through, like, you know, licking their wounds. In most cases, I don't remember specifically, you know, the conversations that happened right after that. I really don't. But I will tell you this. In most cases, those guys don't mean most of that stuff. They're not looking for that. If somebody gets hit in the audience or something, like at WrestleMania this year, we all famously saw the ATV situation with Stone Cold.
And I thought he should have gotten a DUI.
And then the girl kind of fell down after the fact, and it was like, this, and it's like, they have been doing this for years. They understand that there are people there. They have tickets that have these indemnable clauses on the back of them that say that these things can happen, but also they're not trying to hurt anyone. If Stone Cold, he just wants to go back to his ranch and have another beer.
Right.
Like, he really is. Like, he wants to spend his money and enjoy his ranch and his days. He's not trying to hurt you or your family, your moms, your dads, or anything like that. Nobody is. And that's just how the business is.
Yeah.
Most of the guys are very caring and worry about the fans just as much as themselves.
I love seeing Ricky and Ricky's son now going out there together, man. It's so cool to watch.
Oh, they're fantastic.
They're freaking awesome.
And you know the thing too, CJ, we were talking about that is the idea of it. That technically is the fourth generation of that family.
Is it really?
We talk about the idea of the legendary Ed Smith going into the class of 2025. You've got Keith Smith, who's a member of the Hall of Fame, who's 2019. You've got Keith Jr. right now, who's currently holding championship gold here in the greater St. Louis area. And then who knows, we might have that fourth generation. You know, Mark, I had one here, and again, I'm kind of taking away from CJ here, but it's a story I think that the viewers and the listeners need to hear about. Back early on in your career, you and I came up from the same place in life. We came from this beautiful South Broadway Athletic Club Training Center.
Correct. And by the way, another thing about the community, we were talking about how the wrestling community, that's how me and Randy Orton and all of us trained back in the day. We went down to South Broadway Athletic Club. They had a free center where you could go and bounce. The ring had no jacks, and it sucked every time you took a bump in it.
Yes, sir.
But it was a place to train and work on your abilities and skills and become good. And it didn't cost a dime.
Right.
And there was people from all different organizations that would come and train and work out and try different things there.
And
so
really cool.
And that's that community.
And that's one thing to look at too, Mark, is the idea of where when you look at professional wrestling here and you see all these wrestlers that came up.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut your story short.
No, this is exactly where I say that's why we know each other so well. Is the idea when it comes down to it, this man had the opportunity to see a very, very, very young Randy Orton. And that's one of the things, too, with the Hall of Fame. Going back and looking at the history, one of the things that they're going to have on display are some of the different posters from these different promotions. And one of them actually has, I believe it is Randy Orton's second professional match from the South Broadway Athletic Club. And, I mean, again, to see wrestlers like that, to see wrestlers like Jake Durden, who we talked about, who had an opportunity to go to Pro Wrestling Noah, and to see all these different wrestlers who've gone so many different places, and to be able to say, you've had a hand in that.
Yeah.
That's definitely one of the highlights of my career.
100%. Well, and as we're kind of, wrapping this up, just what are your, take me through the class too, if you want to shout them out. Did you know the inductees?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of the inductees. I mean, the first thing I want to look at too, which makes the Hall of Fame so unique, is the idea it's not just inductees as far as in-ring competitors, promoters, referees. There are also other individuals who are going to be receiving special accolades. One of them is the John Blackheart Award, and as Mark and I can both tell you, John Blackheart was probably one of the toughest men we've ever had the opportunity to be in the ring.
John is, as far as I know, John's inducting me.
Yep, so we kind of make sure he's there. But when it comes down to it, I mean, he was double tough. Actually, I don't want to use that because we use a lot more triple tough. But the gentleman being inducted with the John Blackheart Award, Douglas O'Shea, is a man for 30 years who has gone out there. It doesn't matter who it is, where it is, when it is. You tell him he's got a match to go to, he's going to do it. We also have the Jerry Bullion Award, who is a longtime fan, but he was one of those. He was very knowledgeable. He was very active in the professional wrestling community. And this year's inductee is Peggy Mender, a well-known fan to the idea where she'll tell you exactly what you did right, what you did wrong, who she likes, who she doesn't like.
She gets around to a lot of the shows.
Yeah,
a lot of us got to know her and get
really
to
cool.
see her, out there, and she being so supportive. That's important to a lot of people.
That's a really cool point of it too, is the connection that independent promotions have with their fans too, and just that network. Because there's some that really almost become part of the family in a way, you know. And I think that's a really good component too. I also saw Pete Madden's going to be inducted this year.
Oh my, we could have a whole episode.
Is there going to be a wood chipper match at this?
Me and him were supposed to have. I'll send you, CJ. I'll send you the poster. This was supposed to be on May 32nd a few years ago. Me and Pete Madden were going to have like a bed and post match or something. Oh, I'll send you the video. Yeah, it was fantastic. I can't wait. Me and Pete got to get this in.
Oh yeah. But when you look,
this match is going to be amazing.
Yeah, but it's one of those where I got to share this Pete Madden story. Back the 5-year GCW reunion, Pete Madden was in a battle royal, and one of the competitors was early on was Johnny Greenpeace, and Johnny Greenpeace always came around with his tag team partner, his second, if you will, tree. I'm not joking with the viewers here. Came out with a tree. Yep. And during the Battle Royal, Pete Madden actually put a figure 1, not a figure 4, a figure 1 on tree in the middle of the ring during the match, and the crowd was just eating it. It's one of those that's there. But again, going back and look at some of the names here, you got Frank Reed, longtime promoter here in the St. Louis area, better part of 40 plus years. Ace Strange, a man that actually before we came in the studio.
All right, hold on, pause right here. Ace Strange, you were asking for stories.
Yeah.
I'll tell you a story. So we were scheduled to go out and wrestle co-main event one night. Me and Ace Strange were. And we got out there, and me and Ace were just feeling it. Like we were in one of those moments in the battle where he was just feeling it and I was just feeling it. So we were just wailing on each other. We didn't care. Everything was flowing really well.
Yeah.
So we just started grabbing chairs, hitting each other with chairs. Then I think he picked me up and tried to slam me through a table. The table didn't break, but then we did more stuff. And before you know it, 15 minutes has gone by, match is over. We get up to the locker room, and Tony Costa, the promoter, comes up to us. And Tony looks at us and he goes, "You guys just ruined my frickin' main event." And we were like, "What?" Now, you got to remember, we're young wrestlers trying to come up in the business. So this is like 98, 99, guys. This is a long while ago, and it's still kayfabe and stuff. So it's a fraternity. It's like we get into fistfights sometimes with people.
Yeah.
Like, we'll beat you up too in this locker room right now if you don't play along with us. Like, it was a different time period. So they said that we ruined their main event, and that's the promoter. So me and Ace are now looking at each other in the face like, what? Then we had there was a guy named CJ, just like you, that was in the locker room. He walked up to us and was like, "Man, that match was horrible. I don't think we could sell 15-cent steaks to see that damn match again." But I have the promoter literally a minute beforehand going, "You just ruined my main event."
Yeah.
Because you guys went out there and upstaged it.
Yeah.
That was the night me and Ace learned about upstaging a main event and how you don't ever do that. Because just literally, it pisses off men who lift weights, who beat on each other. And by the way, I'll tell this to anybody out there. You can talk all the trash you want on professional wrestling. We take punches to the face for a living. Yeah. So punching us in a bar fight or out in the middle of the street, or it's like punching an MMA fighter. It's not going to get you a reaction because we're used to it happening to us all the time. So those things are crazy to me. Like, anyway.
No, it's a good point though, and honestly, and we could have a whole nother show on that because so many times the young guy maybe gets the curtain jerk of the show, and they go out there and they're doing dive spots in the first 2 seconds of the match,
and you have to learn
what the
these
hell are you doing?
Increments about the business so that you can learn. It's all politics.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to say it like that, and I'm not trying to turn this into politics. We're not here to talk politics. But I'm just saying, it's all about that interaction. The politics. You understand in radio?
Yeah.
The people behind the scenes, who you interact with, how it works. Same idea.
Like Dick
Every
Douglas
other
was so
business.
successful.
Very, very true, Mark. And again, when you look at some of the other names going into the Hall of Fame, you've got Steve Sharp.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Steve Sharp.
Steve Sharp,
Yeah, he's
another
great.
man who went and took his professional wrestling. I mean, here's a guy who actually
He's
spent
worked
time
everywhere.
He spent time in WCW before they finally closed up
wow.
shop, and then proceeded to move into the entertainment world, movies, television, you name it. I believe he had a reoccurring role in the Empire series.
Yeah, he was on Empire, the TV show.
Oh,
and
wow,
everything else.
really
He
cool,
was like one
yeah.
of their bodyguards on the TV show.
Very
Yeah.
true,
Steve's been around the game for a long
Hell of a
while.
career. Yeah.
Ed Smith, known for the Wrestling at the Chase days, but also many a time at the MMWA.
Ed Smith gave me the greatest piece of wrestling advice I ever got in a business, which was, you have 2 ears and 1 mouth. So listen twice as much as you speak. That's literally verbatim almost from Ed.
100%. Great advice, too, honestly.
For a guy who talks as much as me. It was amazing advice.
I'm sure, yeah.
Well, like I said, we look at Ed Smith. I mean, again, a man who spent countless years in the industry and brought so many other wrestlers and his own family along as well. You got Doc Lombardi. You've got myself and my colleague here, Mark Bland. You've got Jeremy Lightfoot. An individual who,
Another
I mean,
talented young.
Oh, dude, who I don't know if we can get away with calling him a young man anymore. 'Cause we're not
anymore.
young anymore.
We're old too. He's been around with us as long as anybody else has.
But
So,
you know something,
fair
though,
enough to Jeremy.
Yeah, but you know something with Jeremy though. Jeremy just a few weeks ago went out and even though he had retired, he went out and paid respect to one of the inductees, the late Frank Reed, at an event for RCW up in Litchfield. And even though I don't think he had been in the ring for about a year, it didn't look like he had missed a step.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It's like riding a bicycle.
Yeah,
exactly.
You'll figure it out.
And the last inductee, Mischief. I mean, what more can you say about Mischief?
One of the most talented female wrestlers to ever
100%.
come out of the Midwest.
100%.
St. Louis,
very
in this
much
area.
so, very much so. And again, when you look at professional wrestling, I mean, again, for years there was only 2 real promotions in St. Louis. If you weren't with the Wrestling at the Chase, it was either the South Broadway Athletic Club or it was RCW.
Yeah, there was only...
Really?
He
Wow.
says there's 12, 13 promotions today. I mean, I don't...
Right.
I was working with MWC at the beginning of this year, but I've got some health issues, so I had to step away from that. But like... that's the first new organization I had worked with in quite a while. And so like, I didn't even realize that we're 12, 13, 14 organizations at this point. And that's coming off of 2, maybe 3. You had Frank, you had Herb and Tony. They were MMWA, SI, CW. They were all one big thing. And then you had GCW.
Yeah.
That was it. There was 3 organizations. That's the only place you could work, really.
And that's one of the things when you look at this Hall of Fame induction class and you look at the history. And again, if you go back and look on social media, look at Facebook, Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame, and you see some of these names, not only who have gone in, but who are going to be doing the inductions. I mean, you have the likes of a John Blackheart. You've got the likes of a Herb Simmons. You've got one that I find really interesting is the idea. We have Doc Lombardi going in as well. I don't want to leave Doc out because Doc would intimidate me with that baseball bat. He always carried everywhere. But I mean, again, one of the things I think I'm really looking forward to, other than the ceremony as a whole, is the fact that Jeremy Lightfoot is actually having his own son induct him.
That's really cool.
That is something that just
That's really cool.
amazes me.
Yeah.
His son just managed to start really getting active in the ring, and I'll tell you right now, his son, if he's even 100th of what his dad was, he's going to have a very bright career in pro wrestling. And again, it's one of those where if you get an opportunity and you're in the St. Louis area, Sunday, June 22nd, it's going to be a great day. You have an opportunity to get a good meal. You get the opportunity to meet all these individuals who've paved the way for so many. at the Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Well, and the induction ceremony will take place Sunday, June the 22nd, 1 to 5 p.m. at Andre's Banquet Center. That's over there at 4254 if you want the physical Telegraph Road. Are there still tickets available?
There are a few tickets left. I mean, again, this year, with knowing the class that was going in, there's actually 2 banquet facilities inside the one.
Oh, wow.
Now, and they've actually had to open up the bigger room for us. There's a huge amount of people that are going to be there. If you need to get tickets, you can go through the Facebook account, and they'll get you in contact with the ticketing agent, or you can give us a call. Number here is 314-215-1481. Like I said, if you want to get a ticket, you need to get them quick because they are filling up, and this is going to be.
Could we have the next one at Fast Eddie's?
That would be good.
Like, could we have? I mean, think about it: chick on a stick and an induction. I mean, that's
Thank you, Mark.
Remember, this is the business where we were paid in hot dogs and handshakes.
Exactly.
That is true.
So a Chico stick and a Hall of Fame induction.
It goes hand in hand.
I think so.
It's like a pothole and a Tim tag in St. Louis.
I said Chico stick. A chick on a stick.
Yeah, but like I said, there's a lot. You know what we could have next time?
What's that?
We could actually make it a point. We could actually convince them because CJ's got all the pull.
Right.
Let's go ahead and have them bring the food here.
Sure.
We can have something right out here in front of RiverBender.com.
That's right.
We'll have an event. We'll have the food. We'll have the induction, and everybody will have a great time just like they are on Sunday the 22nd.
Durden and Cruz going through the wall at the Stratford could have only helped that look of the place.
Hey, I got to tell you,
Hey, listen, that Stratford was a unique place to work because when you would go out the back door where we would load in, you were right up against some of what I would consider St. Louis's finest crack den locations. Listen, no, this is not a knock. This has nothing to do with Dynamo or anybody who was working for us at that point. We just had a spot to do our show. They were an old hotel that had like this big wraparound complex. And when you go out that back door, dude, the windows were wide open. You could see the people in there. They'd be arguing on their phones, screaming at people about how they're homeless and that they don't have anywhere to go. And so it was, and I'm not like, it was one of those dive motel type establishments that had that aspect to it, as well as like a facility, a place for us to wrestle. And like they had their own bar and like a place where they made a bunch of money up front.
And they had great
And they
music.
did great. They
Yeah,
had
they
good
had
music.
musical
It was
acts.
a good place. It was just behind the scenes. They had this whole hotel complex that they used to try to like live off of at the bar, you could tell.
Yeah.
But that kind of went by the wayside. It became those week-to-week people that can just barely afford enough to stay there, which is okay.
Yeah, I get
People got to do what they got to do to live in this world, and I respect that. It's just an interesting dichotomy when you walk out that back door and you're just sitting there dead tired after going through the wall, and all of a sudden you hear somebody screaming on the phone how they're going to be homeless in an hour.
Oh my God.
Well, and one of the things you look at too, Mark, real quick, is the idea there are so many venues, the likes of a Stratford Bar, and
Oh,
Grill,
yeah.
like a Big Texas, like a South Broadway,
A
Athletic
lot of
Club,
different places.
like a Wild Acres Gymnasium,
Like a parking lot.
Sure.
the River's Edge Complex.
You were talking about Frank Reed earlier. One night, me and Gary Jackson went over there to work for him, and we worked a 20-man over-the-top battle royal in the middle of the street, one of these towns over here. And maybe Dupo. All I know is that we had our main board in the middle of the ring break in half.
Oh, no.
And then there was literally a 12-inch wide just gash through the middle of the ring to where every time you stepped, your foot went a foot down because the mat started to cave in. And then you had to still wrestle 20 minutes in a ring like that.
Yeah.
And it was an over-the-top rope battle royal. So it wasn't like just go outside and wrestle out there. No. We had to wrestle in the ring over-the-top rope battle royal.
That's all a part
So
of
you
being
had to
produced.
do it.
Right.
And that's in the middle of a street with 200 people standing around watching it.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's a million different venues and different things. And yeah, and it gets as cool as also Wembley Stadium for a WrestleMania. Too,
Yeah.
I'm
That's
sure.
True.
Oh, gotcha.
And one of the things to look at here is all these men and women who are going in the Hall of Fame have done so much for this industry, as we said, to make it better than what they found it. And on June 22nd, the Independent St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame is going to be paying homage to them. I mean, again, the Missouri State Athletic Commission has acknowledged them. The National Wrestling Hall of Fame has acknowledged them. There's a lot of great things going on. And make it a point, if you can get an opportunity, please come on out and show your support for those who've paved the way for so many wrestlers today.
100%. And, that takes me to the final thing as we're wrapping up. Just what's your thoughts, just kind of bird's eye view a couple of days out as you guys are going into this?
Mark, I'm going to let you have the first one.
Bird's eye view. Probably very humbling.
Mm-hmm.
A lot on your plate to kind of think about. You're going to be talking to a room full of your contemporaries and people that you've been around for many, many years and decades, depending on the person. And so that comes in. You're going to have your friends, your family there. These are things that weigh in. Your speech, who do you want to talk about? Why do you want to talk about it? I've worked with a lot of different people over the years. A lot of people expect me to say a certain name a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to happen because that person really wasn't a part of the majority of my career.
Yeah.
They were a part of the beginning and the early stages of their career. And so I'm a piece of their history more than they're a piece of my history in that regards.
Yeah.
Outside of that, there are I think it's just getting everything together, right? Getting a suit together so that you look nice for the event and, making sure that you're going to get around to talk to everybody and hope that you get to see everybody you want to talk to. And, it's just going to be a busy day, a lot going on. So that's kind of where I'm at, bird's eye view right now.
Perfect.
And I got to tell you right now, for me, it's the idea of being able to see the contemporaries and all the people that not only helped you, but to bring you forward. And an interesting side note with mine is the idea where it's going to be the first time in probably 15 years the 3 men that trained me are all going to be under the same roof.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
And again, the idea
Who were those 3 men?
It was Pete Madden,
okay,
John Blackheart,
got it,
and my brother.
Okay.
And the idea of we're having those 3 individuals there to see me be inducted. And I mean, again, just to see all the names, all the personalities. You have friends, family, people from all around the professional wrestling community coming out to show their appreciation. As my wife said, sometimes in this business, we get very busy with all the things we got to do. But sometimes you just got to kind of stop and smell the roses.
Yeah.
You got to take an opportunity to really see what you've contributed over your years, and that's all going to come to a head a week from Sunday at the Hall of Fame. I'm going to tell you right now, my speech is still up here and in the pen. I don't even know if I'm going to get to that point before the induction, but when it comes down to it, I mean, again, seeing professional wrestlers talk about why they do what they do is really going to be probably the coolest thing of it all.
Absolutely. Well, guys, seriously, congratulations on it all. And Luke, thanks for everything that you've done to help me and seriously, all the mentorship and everything. It means a lot, and it's really cool that you're getting this acknowledgement, seriously.
Thank you, CJ.
You know who else got some acknowledgement lately? Carver's Barbecue, voted best in Madison County. You can stop by today for lunch and try their barbecue nachos or just try that house sandwich. To die for. Do one better, okay? Because it's Illinois and we can gamble in any establishment. Why don't you bring $50 with you extra? Go put it in Heidi and Beer House. Win $150. Lunch is paid for. You're up $120.
Up 120.
And life's looking freaking great. Another thing. You guys ever cook for the holidays and it becomes a war zone because you're cooking for 50 people and it's like, get the hell out of the kitchen.
And by the time you're done with it, all you want to do is have a beer and watch a TV by yourself. You don't want to talk to anybody.
No,
at all.
100%.
Even if it was all your friends and family. Yeah.
That's why Carver's caters. The big days are coming up, like 4th of July. Father's Day is coming up pretty close. You might want to call him to see.
Sunday.
I know, this is getting really tight.
Are you a father?
With that being said,
he said,
No, I don't talk about my personal life.
There's a couple ladies out there.
I don't talk about but at Carver's Barbecue, their award-winning barbecue done right. Stop in today for lunch or just have it catered. And don't forget to tell Jeff that you know who sent you over their way. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with a little bit of news in this 10 o'clock hour, and we'll come back and talk about the F1 Powerboat Races. You stay there, I'll stay here on RiverBender.com.
I'm excited.
Roku
We gotta
TV.
stay tuned in.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop at their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Munganast Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Munganast Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started
When
today.
I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver's serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl.
I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car. I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
Now I'm back and not ashamed to cry.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're having a little bit of a technical situation in the studio, and that should be fixed here momentarily. Just hang loose with me. You're watching our daily show on RiverBender.com and Roku TV. We have a great 10 o'clock hour coming down the pipeline. Still more conversations await you with the F1 Powerboat Races. Going to be talking to Lyndsey Younger. We're also going to be talking to Tim Seabold. And getting the latest is we're just about a month away from that event, too. It's all coming down the pipeline so fast. And, really just want to thank Mark and Luke for stopping by again. Really just great guys, and really excited to talk with them, and really just great to see them enshrined in the St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame. It's a really big deal, and glad that I could help share their story and be a part of it. It is time for top of the hour news. We're still technically there, so give me a grace period. Yeah, we're getting back to normal in the studio quickly. That's how good the team is upstairs. Hey, we'll take you to top of the hour news now. Starting at 9 p.m. tonight, Interstate 5570 northbound and eastbound between Illinois 157 and 159 in Madison County will be fully closed for bridge repairs. This closure is expected to last 17 days, reopening by 5 a.m. on Monday, the 30th of June. Motorists advised to follow the marked detour via I-255 northbound to 270 eastbound to reconnect with I-5570 and to allow extra travel time, especially early in the closure. Be mindful of that if you guys have trips or different plans. Drivers should reduce speeds, obey construction signage, and obey all traffic laws while approaching and traveling through the work zone. Avoid your mobile device as well. You can find out more information at gettingaroundillinois.com. Also in the news today, the CM Lady Eagles hosted an intense summer girls basketball shootout on Wednesday, bringing together 8 competitive teams from across the region, including Jerseyville, Highlands, Southwestern, Springfield, Carrollton, Edwardsville, Triad, and CM. Each team played 3 games in a full-day event running 9 to 9, with games consisting of 20-minute halves. Meanwhile, the auxiliary gym held a JV shootout, providing next year's players an opportunity to gain valuable experience and showcase their skills. The event served as a crucial preparation period for both varsity and junior varsity squads ahead of the upcoming basketball season. Back here in serious news, Tremaine Brown, 30 of Wood River, has been charged with multiple felonies after allegedly fleeing police in a stolen Hyundai Santa Fe on the 13th of June on the 12th of June, my apologies. Brown faces 1 count of unlawful possession of a stolen motor vehicle and 2 counts of aggravated fleeing or attempting to elude that peace officer. Authorities say Brown drove the vehicle taken without permission from an ex-partner at speeds exceeding 70 miles an hour in a 35-mile-an-hour zone while ignoring several traffic signals. A petition to deny his pretrial release was filed, but it was later denied, with Brown granted pretrial release. He remains presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. Taylor Weishaupt is organizing a fundraiser to support Hazel, a 7-year-old girl from Bethalto who is preparing for a challenging medical journey due to severe scoliosis. Hazel will soon need to wear a halo brace before undergoing a Sheila procedure, which involves a partial spinal infusion and requires a hospital stay lasting several months. During this time, Hazel's mother will be out of work to provide care, while her father balances employment and looking after Hazel's siblings. The fundraiser aims to ease the financial burden on the family, allowing the focus on Hazel's recovery. The community is encouraged to offer prayers, support, and donations to help Hazel and her family during this difficult period. A full write-up on that story is available at RiverBender.com, and highly encourage you to help support this if you can. Also in the news, just a couple of days ago, Officer Molly Munich from the Fairview Heights Police Department was released from a St. Louis Regional Hospital on the 11th of June, and upon her return, she was warmly welcomed by residents and first responders at the police department, highlighting strong community support and solidarity. The St. Clair County Sheriff's Department also acknowledged the occasion, offering prayers for Officer Munich's continued strength and recovery. This heartfelt homecoming serves as a reminder of the community's appreciation for those who serve. Finally, in the news today, in commercial news, Glen Carbon trustees have unanimously approved the Meridian Grove subdivision. This is a new residential development featuring 17 single-family homes and 16 attached villas. The community, developed by Spencer Homes, is designed as a maintenance-free neighborhood with lawn care, snow removal, and landscape being managed by a homeowners association. The villas will start in the low 400s, while single-family homes will begin in the mid-500s. Thousands. Meridian Grove is the fourth phase of the Meridian Plaza project, located near I-57 and Meridian Road, which has seen significant commercial growth. Final approval depends on securing an improvement guarantee bond to ensure project completion, and that's a look at what's happening around the Riverbend this 13th day of June. Let's take a look at weather. 70 degrees, it feels like 74, and humidity is at 100%. Boy, my boy, today mostly cloudy and cooler, but it will be humid all throughout the day. Couple of showers and a thunderstorm this morning awaits us still. There could be ponding on streets and highways, be mindful. Tonight, a thunderstorm in parts of the area this evening. Otherwise, it will be cloudy and humid. For the next 5 days, here's what it looks like. Today, temperatures reach 74 degrees, drop down to 68 overnight as we head into Saturday. On Saturday, a high of 82, a low of 65 degrees, and then on Sunday, a high of 84, a low of 67. On Monday, the 16th day of June, a high of 87 degrees, a low of 70, and then on Tuesday, we're coming back with a high of 88 and a low of 71. That's a look at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now at 72 degrees in the heart of the 618 for time and temperature throughout the day. 618-465-4545, the area landmark phone number, the staple phone number of the 618. Give it a call today, powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, Return Home. You can also stay up to date in real time all the time by going to RiverBender.com /weather or by downloading the RiverBender.com app today. All righty. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back, chat for a little bit. We got the F1 Powerboat Races. Tim and Lyndsey joining us in the studio. You stay there. I'll stay here on RiverBender.com and Roku TV.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Do you need to declutter your space? Time to call me, the Queen of Junk. Since 1993, we have grown to be the leader in residential, commercial, and property management junk removal. At Sparks Junk Removal, we are eco-friendly. We recycle, donate, or repurpose items back into our community. Trash is our last resort to the landfill. Plus, with our all-inclusive service, our crews handle everything from labor to lifting and landfill fees. Give us a call or visit our website, sparksjunkremoval.net, to reclaim your space today.
When you need a project done right, on budget and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
Looking for the best barbecue in Madison County? Head over to Carver's Barbecue in Godfrey, Illinois. From loaded barbecue nachos to mouth-watering pulled pork, brisket, ribs, and more, Carver serves up award-winning flavors you'll love. Family-owned, Carver's is all about fresh-made in-house dishes served daily. Come visit us at 2716 Groveland in Godfrey, or give us a call at 618-467-9999. Order online, get it catered, or stop by for the best smoked meats around. Where great flavors meet family tradition, you'll find Carver's Barbecue.
Have a rash, pink eye, or urinary tract infection and need care now? OSF On-Call Urgent Care is here to treat you. Start a virtual visit 24/7, whenever and wherever you need it. It's just that easy. osfoncall.org/virtual visit.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com. RiverBender.com.
I love you.
we're back. 10:29, and always great to
wave at yourself.
The Magical Mayhem Show coming down the pipeline. 2 short days away. We're here.
Oh my gosh, only 2 days? I better get busy.
Wow. Professor Longhair, Sean Johnson.
I'm John.
That's Professor Longhair. They both have longer hair. Mm-hmm. Just wanted to clarify that for the audience.
Long and luxurious.
How are we feeling for this? How are tickets looking, and how's the show coming together?
I think it's going very well. The tickets are still some available, but we have, I don't know, probably about 3/4 of the tickets sold.
Good.
So far, yeah.
Wow.
And we've actually done something special, too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Phil me, is this what I saw the other day on your Facebook where we could win a pretty cool prize?
2. Bingo. Two. Counting cool. 2 prizes.
That's awesome. Fill us in on this. This is really exciting.
Okay. Well, one of them is...
We have a certificate to win a free 30-minute balloon art presentation, which means you have a baby shower, a wedding reception, a bachelor party.
Who knows? That'd be fun.
That might be. We can do some things with that.
Make a gerbil? No.
Birthday party. Speaking of which, birthday parties, and basically I come to your event, do 30 minutes of balloon art, can make any... We actually did balloon art at Dolly Parton Festival at Prairie Inn.
Oh, cool.
And we made a guy into Dolly.
Oh, nice. Now that's art. That is art.
That is art.
We've all seen the animals. I want to see some real art like Dolly Parton's bosom. That's good.
Yeah.
You would.
It was voluminous.
It was. And he was very proud of it.
Oh, yeah. He showed it off to everybody.
Who wouldn't if you had it? You know?
If you had that. So we can do anything with the balloon art within reason.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
And so this will be a giveaway. And then John came up with something pretty cool, too.
All right. And from me, my contribution to our drawing is a certificate for a free 30-minute close-up magic show.
That's cool.
So thank you.
Actually.
So if you're having any kind of event, party, whatever, it's totally adaptable by me. And I show up and do 30 minutes of fun, entertaining, close-up magic. You know, stuff that like happens right under your nose, in your hands, all that kind of good stuff, using common objects.
That's super cool. Now, how do we win?
A drawing.
Well, you have to be at the show to win.
Step 1, get tickets.
Yes. Buy tickets. Get your tickets, and then at the end of our show, we will have a drawing.
That is awesome. How'd you guys come up with that idea? Because that's really cool, especially like you said for birthday parties. And not right now, but if something's coming down the pipeline in the summer, man, that's always a really cool thing to add to any event.
Yeah, and anytime you want. We don't have a time frame set on it. So if it's within the next 10 years, because I don't know how long I'm going to last. But
man, you're optimistic.
But hang on to these and use them when you're ready.
I love it. Within 10 years before someone dies here, you know?
We're getting older.
Oh, man.
Younger.
I love this.
Not valid after death.
We should put that on there.
We might handwrite that.
Well, and I just think it's really cool that you guys are doing this. And I was seeing the posts about the show, and I think Old Bakery's a hell of a venue. I mean, the space they got's cool. The vibes they got, the atmosphere, it's perfect for a show like this. And now, is this going to be an all-ages show? Is it 18 and over, 21 and over with the beer?
Well, I mean, there are, with the ticket purchase, 2 drinks are included. Now, it is an all-ages show, but there aren't any discounted tickets for kids. Mm-hmm. So, I mean...
Well, can I throw this out there for the parents with kids that want to go? Just drink your kids' beer. I mean, they get 2, technically, so you get 4.
Technically, you get 4.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they could cash that in.
Or the kids get that. Or the kids could get sodas.
Yeah.
Oh,
They could
that
get a
too.
drink of their own.
Yeah, so the room will be set. It's in their event room, and of course everything will be set up there. The chairs. There'll be a bar inside the event room. Folks can always show up early and have some of the delicious Old Bakery Beer Company food. Lauren Patton there at the Old Bakery has just been wonderful. It's been great working with her. It was really kind of an easy sell, if you will, because I've done some close-up magic for an event there before that Lauren had at Old Bakery. So when I approached her with this, she was all for it. So I mean, we greatly appreciate that because we're always looking for more venues to bring our shows to.
Well, and honestly, this is a type of show that you don't see very many of around the area, and it's such a cool one. When you were out at Breakfast with Santa last year, that I had more fun than anybody else watching you. And now, take me through. Is this going to be a close-up magic show for you here, or how's that work?
No, at the Old Bakery, this is our what would be considered our full evening stage show.
Oh, wow, cool.
Yeah, so it's a stand-up show. It's all stage style magic, and it's we'll each do a 20-minute set twice, but each set is different. So
yeah,
and then our performance styles are so much different. So you get a lot of variety within what we're doing for Old Bakery
for
that night.
$35. That's a hell of a deal when you're getting what's 20 times, so for 80 minutes of entertainment, plus you get 2 beers with this, or 2 drinks for $35, and you have a chance to win. That's the best part of this. I think it's so creative and so unique that you're doing this. And what day is this on? Hold on.
Saturday.
I gotta
Saturday.
I think
evening.
I want to win the certificate, and I want to see it perform too. Don't get me wrong, but I want to win the certificate. Well, and now what I think's cool for the audience to know is, I mean, you guys have been at this for quite some time now, and really have honed in on the craft. I mean, you got 50 years under your belt, and you got 24, don't you?
Professionally, but I did start about the same age as John did.
Oh,
I was
wow.
12 years old doing it. My grandfather was a magician, and he was in Toastmasters, which is a club that teaches and practices speech competition. And he thought, well, what would be a cooler way to demonstrate what I'm speaking about than to present magic? So I was the only out of 7 grandkids that picked up the mantle. And he left me a box when he passed away. There was a box with my name on it, full of ropes, coins, felt or silks, foam balls. I didn't know what to do with. So in the corner of the box, there was a weathered yellow card with the name of a magic shop in downtown Decatur. I went down there, knocked on the door, no one answered. So I'm like, well, this is defunct.
Yeah.
And I walked away, and this little old guy, what do you want? And I said, are you still open for magic? And he said, no. And I said, okay, well, my grandpa sent me here, apparently. And he goes, looked at the card and said, get in here.
No way.
Wait.
That is incredible.
Pulled me into the shop, and I brought the box. And I said, I don't know how to use any of this. So he started tutoring me.
That is, what a hell of a story right there. That's incredible.
I know, I'm amazed.
Have you heard that before?
No.
Oh, well, we're all learning today.
Yeah.
That is super cool. And
this is an educational program today.
That is. Sponsored by NPR, and we'll be back after the... No, but I think it's so cool, man, that you got into it that way, and to have a note left for you to go to the shop, and just the circumstance of that is pretty damn incredible.
It was pretty cool. It was like a Wizard of Oz. You didn't come in here. Wait, you're Dorothy? I was Dorothy that day.
Pretty exclusive club, I'd say.
Pretty exclusive club. But to your earlier answer, one idea that sparked the certificates was we have some amazing friends, family, other magicians that we work with, a great group of supporters. And one of the things that we want to do with these certificates is build beyond our core and let their friends in on the secret.
Yeah.
Let their family members know that we're out here. And the best way is to show up somewhere. That's kind of how we got the Prairie Inn gig.
Yeah.
We were having lunch and started doing magic tricks for each other. The table next to us called us over.
Yeah.
can you do some tricks for us?
Yeah, they're like, well, what's going on there? You guys, what's this? What's this? And so we started doing things for them and stuff, and they were having a blast. And the bartender noticed, the other patrons noticed. And the funny thing, as it turned out, then after we were doing some things for them for a while, then one of the guys looks at me and goes, did you go to Edwardsville High School? I'm like, yes, I did, because I was from out in Dorsey, and I got bussed in. He goes, we went to high school together. I was like, Bart? He goes, yeah. I'm like, oh my goodness. So
that's cool, man.
I had not seen him since high school. So it's, wow, you never know what's going to happen.
Is that a mouse?
This is the third member of the Magical Mayhem Troupe.
Oh
Yes.
my goodness.
There's
a mouse in here.
This is Magic Mouse.
Magic Mouse is here.
He's pretty.
So mice are
he doesn't want to leave.
pretty happy where he is.
Yeah.
So mice are, I find, really nice to work with. I have a friend who has a rabbit Snowball, and he uses Snowball in his magic act. But he said rabbits are a lot of work. They take some room. They don't smell so great. Mice are a breeze. So put your hand out, sir.
Okay. I have never held a mouse before.
You are about to.
Oh my
There
God.
we go.
Oh my God.
Magic
Now, as long as
Mouse.
he doesn't poop on you.
Oh my God.
No little pellets in your hand?
No, that was cool.
One of the biggest draws after my magic show is I usually have a line of 50 to 100 kids that have their hand out, want to hold the mouse. The mouse is trained, doesn't bite.
That's what surprised me. I thought I was going to get nibbled on.
Nope.
That's that's incredible.
They are wonderful pets. They cost less than $8. And this mouse...
It's a better, cheaper pet.
Well, and for my smaller magic tricks,
yeah,
I can use this mouse in many situations. And
he looks like he loves you.
She does.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, so I got all female mice. Males are a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
And so females are really easy to work with. They got a nice personality. And like I said, I can get 100 kids lined up. And each one of them will get to hold the mouse. And they love it. I mean, that's the draw at the end of the show is if you're good and listen to the show, you can hold Magic Mouse.
That is so cool. I love when you guys come in because you always bring something cool. This is incredible. You guys got a moment to take a quick break and we'll come back and have some fun?
Yeah.
Hey, it's 10:41. We got mice in here. We got balloons. We got a lot of things getting ready to happen. So why don't you hang out for a couple of minutes and we got to pay some bills, thank some sponsors, and we'll come back with more next.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah. Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
For the biggest selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in the Riverbend, visit AltonToyota.com or stop by their location on the Homer Adams Parkway in Alton. Winner of the prestigious President's Award, Mungan Burkhardt Alton Toyota knows how to treat their customers, and they will help you find the vehicle that is perfect for you. For years, Mungan Toyota has been a fixture in the Riverbend, and now Mungan Burkhardt carries the tradition. New name, but the same great service you've come to expect.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nistello on RiverBender.com.
Risky. I don't know how it feels to hurt. Oh, I ain't been lonely. goodbye.
10:33. Welcome back. Friend of the show status, Lyndsey Younger. Man, frequent flyer miles are starting to rack up. I love it. Tim, how are we doing today?
We're doing very good.
Well, we are almost a month away from the F1 Powerboat races. And now, last year they were in June, correct?
Yes.
And this year we're in July, and man, it's going to be a great July weekend to go out there and just watch some really fun racing. And then the outside of the racing, just the camaraderie and all the different types of activities and different entertainment that's provided is great for all families.
It is family-friendly atmosphere on the whole event. We have got food vendors. We've got display vendors. We've got open pit area for the race, for the fans to come through. We've got Max Friday night meet and greet street party, which is going to be right here on Bell and 4th. And so you'll be able to come out. There's live music. There's cold beverages, full menus. And you're going to meet drivers. You're going to get up close and personal, be able to see their equipment, and kind of hang out with them.
That's going to be so much fun. I mean, really, and that meet and greet's July the 18th, 6:30 to 8:30, right there on Bell Street and West 4th and Alton. And really, I think it's so cool that you guys are really creating this community event with this and making it one where we're out and about and it's a hands-on experience for everybody.
Absolutely. I'm glad it's coming back for 3 more years.
Well, and so it is going to be here for 3 more years, correct?
Yes.
3 more years, yes.
Well, and Tim, we were talking during the break a little bit about, being, in certain places for an extended period of time and having those recurring venues in those different areas and being able to refine them and really fit the mold of what you're really trying to accomplish and being better every year.
Well, I'm just very thankful that the city and the Board of Aldermen, they saw the insight to the economic impact and what the growth means for the Alton community. So with that, and with us being able to get a 3-year commitment from them, shows stability in the event. So that way we can get year after year commitments from sponsors, and they say, look, the city's involved and they're in it for the long haul. So it's okay for us to join and get involved as well.
100% over. And I just think it's so cool to see, having the Max aspect of it, having the different food vendors. And is the setup going to look similar to last year, or are we going to look a little bit different?
Little different.
Okay. Yeah. Fill me in. I'm interested.
So, we were talking about this, and, every time you do one of these events, you are refining it.
Yeah.
So last year, we learned some valuable lessons, and one of them was our layout wasn't quite as good as it could be. So this year, we moved the food vendors and the display vendors over on the Argosy side of the amphitheater, let's say, on that parking lot. So that way, everybody will come in. You'll go right past all the vendors. Once you're in the gates, everybody doesn't have to re-show anything except for the VIP area. Makes it easier for the fans. Has people more likely to go visit the vendors and the food vendors. What it also does for the racing side of it is it enlarged our pit area, which we needed. And it also gave us a shorter route to the ramps down at Alton.
That makes
Marina.
sense.
So it did quite a few things for us.
Well, and honestly, what I think is so cool, going back to these partnerships, to have, great rivers and routes and having them spearhead, but also the city of Alton side of things, and really all the hours that it takes, on the back end to kind of organize the city side of it and just where your roles are. How important is it to have multiple partners like the two institutions or the institution and the city a part of this, and really making this a true team?
Yeah, I mean, it's very important. We also have Rivers and Routes helping us. We have monthly meetings, sometimes a couple times a month, where we all get on a Zoom meet and go through every aspect of organizing this event.
Wow.
And that's something that I help coordinate, making sure all these meetings are happening. Everyone
Add it to the list of tasks, huh?
Yep, everyone is good and ready.
Lyndsey, I'm telling you, I don't know what you don't do anymore.
sleep.
There you go. Good answer. That's a great answer.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, and now I wanted just to direct you guys real quick over here, if I can do so. On the F1 Powerboat Championship.com website, they have a really nice map where you can see this layout of how everything's going to look. And I mean, I like the way that you're putting this together now. It all makes sense and really ties in the entire area to where you're enclosed. You know, you're a part of this and there's not any, distractions or any empty space.
That's right. You know, Riverfront Park is an absolutely beautiful facility, coupled with the amphitheater right there. So on Saturday, we're going to have some music immediately following the event, the racing side of it, and it's free. So once you're in there, we're just going to have some music for a couple hours to extend the value that you're getting for getting a ticket and coming in.
Well, what's better than music and boats? I mean, that's
right.
a hand-in-hand scenario right there. Now, VIP tickets, are those available for this event?
Sure are. You got, there's a little bit different than last year.
Okay.
So this year there is a charge for general admission, where last year it was free general admission, but then if you wanted a bleacher seat, you paid, or if you had a VIP ticket. VIP ticket's going to be the same. So it's a $125 plus the fees for a day, $200 for a weekend. But now in a general admission ticket, we're going to include the bleacher seating on a first come, first served basis.
Wonderful.
So that way you can get that ticket, general admission, $25 plus fees for the weekend, $15 per day.
Oh, wow.
So
that's awesome.
We want to make it where it is affordable and bring the family out. Kids VIP is $40 for the weekend, $25 for the day. So it's a little cheaper. And we want to be able to get the families out there.
This is just really a great incentive, too. And honestly, one that not a lot of families have ever been a part of, too. This could be their first time ever watching, powerboat racing, and you're bringing that new experience to them. And I think that's another important component of what the city's trying to do on the riverfront, too, Lyndsey.
Yes, and utilizing our beautiful riverfront.
Right.
Well, I mean, if you look, too, it's got to be exciting. All throughout the summer and throughout multiple weeks of the summer, I mean, the amphitheaters is about as busy as it has been in a couple of years now with the, you have the MRF and you have the Attila Fest now and you have all the amphitheater events on top of it, the F1. Mm-hmm. It's got to be coming together in a way that everyone's really, really proud and excited to see the future.
Yes, that's one of our goals is to utilize the amphitheater more. So we're trying.
Well, and it really is cool to hear how this all comes together with monthly meetings, and I mean, because it's no easy feat to put something like this on. I couldn't imagine, especially when you're looking at active bodies of water too, and the Mississippi River being one of the biggest and largest bodies of water in the country. What are some of the nuances that come into monitoring the river? As you're leading up to that, is there anything you have to take into consideration for safety of the boaters or anything like that?
So you're doing permitting.
Oh, yeah.
With Illinois Department of Natural Resources, U.S. Coast Guard, Corps of Engineers.
So there's no red tape.
So that's... But you know what? All of our partners in that have been fantastic.
Good.
Alton Police, Alton Fire. They just do a fantastic job in assisting us and giving us not only the manpower and the help to do it, but also the guidance from the other events that they have done and what works and what doesn't.
100%. Now, I wanted to ask you, because I think I asked you this last year, drones for this are not permitted, correct?
Drones are not permitted. Because we use drones for the live streaming and the television coverage. Mm-hmm. So what we've had happen in the past is, first of all, you have to be permitted to do it. Second of all, what's happened before is they get on the same frequency, and then all of a sudden our television drone crashes because somebody's out there flying theirs and they're on the same frequency and it overrides it.
Oh, no.
No way.
So all of a sudden, and these drones are crazy. They're so fast. They can keep up with the race boats at over 100 miles an hour, but
oh my God,
they do put some flotation on them because some of these drones are 10, 12 grand.
Oh my gosh.
So, you don't want to lose one of them babies.
Don't fly your drone anywhere near it. Okay, just watch. Okay. I'm glad I asked that question.
Yeah,
now.
go on our live stream and see it that
Now,
way.
how can we watch it live?
So you can go to the F1 Powerboat Championship.com website, and you can buy tickets there. You can go to Great Rivers and Routes website, and we've got an event page there where you can get more information on both these websites. You can buy tickets, links off of these websites. So there's all kinds of, we got the sponsors listed, and you can go right to their links. We're trying to put as much information out there as possible to answer those questions. Some of the biggest questions are, can we watch this by boat? Heck yeah, you can watch it by boat.
Oh, cool.
Come out. You can anchor out. We've got a safety zone. We want to keep you out of the main channel of the river so that we don't have a problem. But we've got some great local help, which Mike Farmer from over at Farmer's Fiberglass kind of helps run our local water patrol help. And then we've got Coast Guard help, fireboat help out there. So,
wow.
You know, we're doing everything we can to give everybody as much information as possible.
That's incredible. That's truly an all hands on deck scenario for something like this. It's really cool to hear about that. And we got to take a quick break. It's 10:45. I'll pay one last bill of this conversation. We'll come back and we'll keep talking about the Alton Midwest Nationals, the F1 Powerboat Racing coming down the pipeline July the 18th through the 20th. No notes in front of me. I'm remembering good today. Back in a moment.
Throughout all life stages, you need someone in your corner, guiding you on your health and wellness journey. At OSF Healthcare, that's your primary care provider. Your OSF primary care provider is there for every stage of life. Find a provider today at osfhealthcare.org/primary.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Psycho killer, escape. Better run away.
10:47. Lyndsey, Tim back in the studio. So, before we go back into, tickets and all that fun stuff, let me ask you this quick one. Can we get tickets the day of if we're just stopping by and go, man, I have time, I want to go see this? Or
yes, you can.
Good.
You'll be able to get them at the gate, or you can go online and get them that day as well.
Really cool. And coming down the pipeline on July the 18th is going to be this meet and greet with the boaters. And I think this is going to be really cool. And what you were talking about, Tim, is just this fact that this is going to be for kids. I mean, to go and really get their, hands-on, experience with a boat.
Yeah, the big thing about the the fan meet and greet over at Max downtown is the fact that you'll get to meet the racers, get autographs, get pictures. They will set you in the boat. It's all about the interaction with the fans.
That's so cool. Well, and honestly, I think so many times, especially for younger parents too, that maybe don't have the checking account to go over into St. Louis and spend all the money to go entertain the kiddos. This is a really great way to do this. It's something different and new, and really is something for the town to be excited about.
Doesn't cost you a dime.
Right.
All you got to do is come and enjoy it.
I don't know if I can enjoy it. I can go. No. Oh, man. But I just really think it's cool that this is another family experience. And Lyndsey, you were talking about this pit area. Take me through that so you can walk through the pit.
Yeah, so once you are, buy a ticket and you're inside there at the Riverfront Park, the pit area is open. You could walk through and also check out, the drivers and the boats and, just kind of see them working on their stuff. It's pretty cool.
Exactly. So you're going to get a glimpse of what the team goes through in order to put that boat on the water. Everybody always sees any type of motorsports racing, and they see a driver and the boat or car and the driver's doing it there, and there's so much more. There's so many people behind the scenes.
Are you serious? Really?
That make that happen for that driver to get all the glory.
That's incredible. I don't know too much. Is there like a pit crew and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Well, and now I got a question. So how often is the pit crew in motion then whenever you're coming back from a race, or how does that work?
It's everything. The pit crew is involved in every aspect of it.
Wow.
So not only are they getting the boat prepared prior, they're putting the driver in the water. They're putting the driver in the boat. Once they put him in the boat, they're running back, driving to be on the dock, so that way they can hold the driver at the dock in his starting position. Once they take off, you got another crew guy that's spotting, one or two guys that are spotting for the driver, telling them what's going on around him as he's racing. Soon as it's over, they go back in, take the driver out of the water. Then they go in to inspection. So they have to weigh the boat. They got to take part of the motor apart to make sure it's legal within the rules. And then after everything's done and you're tired after the whole weekend, then you got to pack everything up.
They're needed.
They're home.
Needed. I think they're needed.
They're valuable.
Well, and Tim, I got to ask you, how much training goes into preparing, as a driver for something like this? Because I was watching a little bit of it last year, and I'm going, okay, I can't even drive a go-kart like this, let alone a friggin' boat. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what really blows my mind is the talent of these drivers. It's incredible.
It is. The Formula One boats are very unique because they're as much of an airplane as they are a boat. So you're flying that thing as much as you're driving it. When it's running optimal, you're packing as much air in that tunnel for the design on the bottom as you can to lift the boat out of the water to get the high performance aspects of it, the speed, the cornering ability. So you're constantly trimming the boat in there. When the boat's running right, you only got a foot of the boat in the water down the straightaways. And as the rougher it gets, that becomes more of a challenge. And everybody knows the Mississippi River, every single lap is different. So the bump that was in turn 1 earlier that, let's say in the race, is now in turn 4. Or the wind shifts. Or you get the water that's bouncing back off the seawall and coming right back onto the course, which makes it rougher. So
wow.
They're not easy to drive. And you can really appreciate the talent of these drivers and what it takes to do it.
That is truly incredible. I didn't even think. So really, if you're running right, you're a foot a boat, and that's about it.
That's it.
Oh my! Wow. Okay, those are some pretty fearless guys right there, and
they
girls.
are. And that's why you see a lot of second, third generation racers out there. Because they learned it coming up. When I started racing, I started at 8 years old. And then you kind of make your way through the ranks as you get older. It goes faster and gets harder to drive, let's say.
Yeah, I'd say so. Well, what does the cleanup process look like on the river leading up to? Did you guys go in and like remove like limbs or things? How do you guys manage that? Because I notice sometimes just driving down the road, I'm like, man, that's a pretty big log. I'm glad I'm not jet skiing today.
It is, and you hit on why are we doing it on? We were June last year. This year we're July 18th through the 20th. Couple leading factors on why we did that was water level.
Okay.
So in the spring, you got to have the gates open on the dam, so that way you've got water coming from up north, and you've got to make room for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with that, it drops the water level in pool 26, and it also makes the current much faster. Well, the later we go in the year, that doesn't happen as much. So the gates won't all be open. Knock on wood.
Yeah, there you go.
And we'll have a little more stability on the water with a little bit higher water level, which is what we want here. And it will slow the current down. And as a result of all those things, there'll be less debris in the water.
That's interesting. Well, and now I got a question. Just because it's just how my mind works, are the boats so powerful that most debris, they just kind of drill right through? Oh, so it's a big problem.
Yeah. So
wow.
These propellers that they're running are only 10-inch in diameter. So if you hit a pencil with that prop, you'll bend it.
Wow.
Because they are very thin and they're very sharp.
This is incredible. I'm learning a lot about powerboat racing today. This is actually really cool. Well, were you a boat watcher before, Lyndsey?
No, not since last year. This is all new and very exciting.
Well, and that's what I think is really cool, too, is that it seems like the city's really adapted and rolled well with this. Because, I mean, there's a lot that I'm sure you have to learn and a lot of communication and all of that stuff. And it just seems like now we're getting a little bit more comfortable, with every aspect of this event. That's cool.
Well, that's why we got to thank all the city municipalities and all the staff, because without them, we can't do it. And everybody comes together, pitches in, and you can't do it on your own.
No.
I mean, it's just physically not possible. So without our great partners in Parks and Rec and Lyndsey's side of it, Jared and the police department and the fire department, we can't do it. So thank you.
Well, and honestly, before I let you guys go, because I found this on your YouTube, I'm going to play that commercial to get them excited for the 2025 season. That looks really cool. Actually, I'm going to play that. Lyndsey, just from a bird's eye view, how's the city feeling? About a month out from this, and your role, are you guys feeling comfortable? Or are we just going to keep charging forward and we're ready for anything?
We're on schedule, so we're
good.
Everything's good. We're just kind of waiting for a few more weeks, and we're going to start setting up everything, like the fencing and getting everything brought down there.
Is there going to be any FAQs for like the public that maybe walks Riverfront Park as setups going on? Should we maybe avoid certain sections when you're setting up, or are there going to be parts closed off?
I don't think so. The splash pad will be closing early that weekend. We will be posting on Facebook about splash pad closing and what time. But I think that's about the only thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so Thursday, Friday, we set up. We've got Test and Tune on Friday, which is all free to the public. Come on down. You can view what's going on and get excited and come back and see us for race days.
I'm excited. That actually would be fun to do too, to see the setup of it. Now let's talk tickets one more time. How can we get our hands on them, and how much are they?
So you've got tickets that start out at $15 and go up to $125 for a day, depending on what level you want to do. You can go to F1 Powerboat Championship.com. You can go to GreatRiversAndRoutes.com. And we have got links set up so you can buy the tickets right there. We've got more information on there. We've even got what you can bring, what you can't bring on there, because we want everybody to have a fantastic experience.
Well, you're definitely getting ready to have a fantastic experience. And Lyndsey, Tim, thank you so much for your time. And we'll be keeping you updated as we are on the road to the F1 Alton Midwest National Powerboat Races. Did I say that right? Damn it. Alton Midwest how am I supposed to say this, Tim?
Alton Midwest Nationals.
Dang it! Okay,
F1 Powerboat
I
Championship.
gotta sign this off right. All right, we'll see you there, July the 18th through the 20th. We'll see you on the 18th for that really fun time on Bell Street at Max from 6:30 to 8:30 on the 18th. Then the fun continues all weekend long. I'm out of time. I'll see you back here on Monday. Try your best to stay out of jail, but right now, we'll get you excited for the powerboat races.
Formula One powerboats are sleek, glamorous, lightweight, and extremely maneuverable, with a power-to-weight ratio among the highest in all of motorsports. Their performance speaks for itself. Acceleration from 0 to 100 miles an hour in under 5 seconds. Top speeds in excess of 120. Cornering at 100 miles an hour, all while pulling 7 Gs in the process. The competition begins with a field of 20 boats lined up in the start pontoon. Engine silent, awaiting the modified Le Mans start. When the green flag drops, these world-class drivers ignite their rockets to life. Engines roaring and rooster tails flying, they simultaneously accelerate towards the first turn. With tight courses close to the shoreline, made up of right and left-hand turns that offer deck-to-deck, heart-pounding action and guarantee fans up close and front and center views, no 2 laps are the same due to the ever-changing wind and water conditions, making the F1 boat one of the most challenging racing machines to conquer on the planet. Founded in 2017, the Formula One Powerboat Championship is an 8-race series contested across North America, featuring weekend-long community events highlighted by the Formula One boats and supporting classes. U.S. Powerboat Racing's 120-year heritage began with the formation of its governing body, the American Powerboat Association. For the last 6 decades, Formula One powerboats have been the pinnacle classification in powerboat racing. Recognized as one of the world's most spectacular racing vehicles, these events have evolved into more than a series of one-day races, developing into marquee, multi-interest, weekend-long community festivals, producing some of the largest entertainment events in major markets, attracting tourism dollars, benefiting the local economies, while delighting the global audience. Large on-site event attendance is coupled with mass media exposure through various channels, regionally, nationally, and globally. Our live streaming programs give each event international reach on various social and traditional channels, reaching millions of fans. Our marketing partners